Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Brockopp side. Today we got ourselves a movie review of 50 Shades Freed, once again directed by James Foley. So this time around, Anastasia Steele, and Christian Grey, once again played by Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan, are now married. Now they're now Mr. and Mrs. Grey, and for an hour and 40 minutes, a lot of nothingness happens. A tiny bit of somethingness happens, an obscene amount of sex stuff, but the bottom line is, it's a final chapter, and these movies are officially over. So, this is the third and final chapter of the 50 Shades saga, and quite frankly, at this point, there's just really nothing new to this series. This movie basically just has everything that's wrong with the other two. You got really bad acting, you got forced tension, you've got these secondary characters that are completely useless and amount to nothing, but at least this time around we have a villain. Yeah, it only took us to the third movie to get an actual villain, but we do in the form of Jack Hyde, who was teased at the end of 50 Shades Darker, and suddenly he's a hacker who can hack into Christian Grey's office building. He knows how to make explosives to blow up the server room, and he somehow sabotaged the helicopter crash from the last movie, and he's suddenly a master at breaking and entering. All of these character traits of his were not established in the last movie, so they just come out of nowhere. He is just such an underdeveloped villain. It's just like, who gives a shit? I mean, we didn't know he could do this stuff before, so it just doesn't make any sense how he can all of a sudden do it. I mean, you went from a perverted, sexually abusive boss to master hacker ninja burglar a-hole guy. But anyway, so you know how in the last movie there were very few sex scenes, and the majority of them were boring and unexciting? Well, they fixed that this time around because there are sex scenes like every 3 minutes. I mean, this movie doesn't even waste any time in getting them done either. I mean, it took like, half an hour from the last movie to get to the sex scenes, but after the opening montage, it just goes straight to the sex, and then 2 minutes after that there's sex, and then 3 seconds after that there's some kinky stuff, and then just keeps going and going and going in that way. So I guess they had to make up for the lack of kinky sex in the last one, so they figured, hey, let's just make the whole movie a sex scene. And just like the last movie, the plot just kinda disappears several times throughout the movie. There's just so many different bursts of nothingness that don't really amount to anything in the movie, and then once in a while they'll be like, oh yeah, there's this Jack Hyde character villain thing, we better do some of that, and then it just goes away again and nothing significant happens. Like I said, it's just really nothing new compared to the last two. So, you know how I mentioned in my 50 Shades Darker review that the woman that comes back from Christian Grey's past shows up, and I thought she should be like the villain of the movie that tries to kidnap one of the main characters or something? Well, this time around, Jack Hyde decides to kidnap Christian Grey's sister and then have a ransom for $5 million, or else he'll kill her. Wow! That's original. So yeah, the big cliffhanger at the end of the last movie and everything he's done in this one just leads up to an extremely cliche climax. And that's not a pun, don't take that the wrong way. It's like, so this time around you've got marriage troubles, you've got stupid vacation stuff, you got characters that might be cheating on other characters, and you've got a bunch of naked people doing dirty sex stuff in this movie, and when I got out of the movie, I realized this has just been an R-rated Lifetime movie is what it amounts to. I mean, it's got everything there, like I just mentioned, which is kind of appropriate because these movies cater to middle-aged moms, just like the Lifetime network also caters to middle-aged moms, so I guess they somehow came full circle. So all in all, 50 Shades Freed wraps up the trilogy in a nice little bow, I guess you could say, and well, the important part is, it's over. Although now that I'm thinking about it, I did see at the bookstore the other day that there are 3 50 Shades of Grey books. They're the same 3 we've had, but they're told from Christian Grey's perspective. So I just kind of hope that, no, Universal, no, I see that look in your eyes. Put the checkbook down. Put it down! So, those are my thoughts on 50 Shades Freed. If you guys have seen the movie, read the books, saw the other movies, or read the other books, tell us down below, and we'll see you on the Brockopp side.